Hey there, just saw Batman vs. Superman last night, and this is my non-spoiler review, so I'm not going to be going over any of the big plot details. Just wanted to kind of share my review because this has been a film I've been looking forward to since probably 2013, before I even entered high school, so that's how long it's been. So my initial reaction for the film when I walked out was, I think I was more shocked than anything else, and that's why I kind of felt really happy about it, and that's probably why my score was a little high for it, because initially I gave it a 7 out of 10, but as it kind of sunk in, I kind of realized that it wasn't, well, I kind of like to put it in a good way. I'd have to say it was a huge letdown. I mean, it was definitely not the film I thought I was going to go in and see. It was just a sloppy film. I'm going to go over some of the positives of it, and I'm going to go over what made it a really sloppy film. So the positives of it, it's safe to say that Ben Affleck is officially my new favorite Batman. I like him way better than Christian Bale, mostly because he was a good Bruce Wayne and a good Batman. The only problem I had was I felt like we didn't get enough Batman, but like we got like a lot of Bruce Wayne, but I felt like we didn't get enough Batman. But the moments when Batman was on the screen, it was entirely amazing. Another thing was when it came down to the actual fight of Batman fighting Superman, it was actually a really good fight. Um, what's another positive thing about it? The formation of the Justice League was I found that really cool. Aquaman looks amazing, and the rest of the Justice League looks like that. It's pretty solid thing, and it looks really good, and I'm definitely excited to see the next Justice League movie. Another positive thing. I love the relationship that Clark and Lois had in this film. It just felt real, and it was really good. What else is there? Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I really like that. I felt like I like the interaction between him and Bruce. That's pretty much all the positives I can think about it. The negatives. Because there are probably a lot more negatives, because this film just it wasn't a good movie. It was okay. One of the negatives is like it was all there, just it was crap. It was just crappy editing, was not put together right at all. The first 30 minutes of it were awesome, and then next thing you know, you just go on this like hour and a half of like just boring, like nothing, and it was just like it took forever to get going. It was just, like I felt bored, and I couldn't believe I was bored in Batman vs Superman. And then next thing I know, the ending, like the final fight when Batman vs Superman fight and Doomsday fights. Doomsday shows up in the trailer, so that's not really a spoiler. But when they fight, that was actually entertaining, and that kept me on the edge of my seat, and I was really excited. But it was just crappy editing. How we got into the fight Batman v Superman was not good, and how the fight ended, like what made them stop fighting, kind of become friends was like really lame and just wasn't good. Zack Snyder, the director, I don't know if I want him directing Justice League anymore. He can't tell a story, but the thing is he directed such beautiful scenes, and it was a really good like there were parts of it that were good. Like, how do I put this? It was all there. It was kind of like you had all the pieces of I don't know. It was kind of like you had all the pieces of a puzzle, but you didn't put the puzzle together right. I mean, like it was definitely a huge disappointment. It felt like I felt like that DC should not have made this movie now. They should have made a different movie, because this movie had so much to catch up on. I mean, DC's playing a big catch-up game with Marvel. I mean, Marvel made like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk. They made all these movies, and then an Avengers movie. DC tries to do Man of Steel, and then this movie, and then try to do the Justice League from here. They needed to set it up more. It honestly felt like that there were maybe 5 movies in one. A good way to put it. I felt like it was a Man of Steel sequel. And then it also felt like it was a Batman standalone film. And at the same time, it also felt like part of it was Batman vs. Superman. And then another part of it was like a pre-Justice League film. And then another part of it was like some weird Lex Luthor film. I mean, honestly, if you ask me, before they made this, they should have made a Man of Steel 2. a standalone Batman film, and then make this film, because it was just like they had so much to do, and it would have been so much better if this film was just Batman versus Superman. No, but you had to like learn who Batman was. You had to go over his origin story again, and a lot of it was kind of just wasted time. And like I said, like there were some points in the film where I was just kind of like, wow, I can't believe I'm bored in here. I mean, I thought the movie was going to be awesome, 100%. Definitely a huge letdown. But honestly, this movie had the potential to be better than like the Avengers or the Dark. Well, not as good as the Dark Knight, because I think the Dark Knight is probably the best comic book film of all time. But this movie had the potential to be better than the Avengers, but it just didn't live up to it. Like I said, there was too much going on. I felt like that there should have been more films kind of leading into it. Like there should have been a Man of Steel, and there should have been a Batman film. Maybe throw in another DC film in there and then make this film, because now going into the Justice League, I'm a little bit worried, because I felt like we didn't really get enough introduction for this. So initially, when I walked out of the theater, I gave it a 7 out of 10, which, I mean, it's not bad, but like it's pretty low considering it's Batman versus Superman. My score went down to a 6. It's because it was just a really big disappointment. Like I think most people were excited walking out of it because the ending was so epic, but as they kind of went back and looked over, and they were kind of like, it wasn't that good of a film. So overall, I give it a 6 out of 10. Definitely not this big groundbreaking hit like I thought it was going to be. DC needs to do something about this slate, because it was Man of Steel. It was like Man of Steel was a big controversial film too. A lot of people thought it was good. A lot of people thought it was bad. But make sure to check it out. I mean, it's still a entertaining film. Definitely not a bad film. Just not a groundbreaking good hit. It was okay. And I think a lot of people kind of are a lot more mad that it's just okay because it's Batman vs. Superman. And everyone thought it was going to be this just big, ginormous hit, but overall it was okay. So basically overall, the good things, Batman, honestly, I love Ben Affleck as Batman. I think he's probably the best Batman we've gotten yet. And it was epic. And the parts of it when Batman was actually fighting Superman and they got down to fighting, it was a really good fight. I mean, that's what I wanted to go in there and see, was a really good fight between Batman and Superman. And like I said, it was, and then the negatives, it was just really badly put together. It was kind of like you were just in one part of the story and you kind of like got attached a little bit, and the next thing you know, you were in a completely different part of the story. The transitioning was awful. What's another thing? Oh yeah, Wonder Woman, or Gal Gadot, who plays Wonder Woman. She was. I didn't like her. I don't like her as an actress. I seriously don't think that she brought like that good of a role. I felt like she was a good Wonder Woman, but at the same time, she wouldn't deliver any of the lines well. I love when she was fighting and like actually showed her in action. I actually liked that, and she did really good. But when it came to her talking, she didn't have that many lines, but they were just like, she kind of talked like this. It was like she kind of sounded like a robot, or she kind of just phoned it in. It wasn't that good of a role, but when it came down to fighting, I liked it. So I think she'll stay Wonder Woman. I don't have a problem with her. I just don't think her acting is the best. But so yeah, overall I give it a 6 out of 10. Again, this was a really huge disappointment. Not a bad film. It was just an okay film. I definitely think that if DC can change their slate at all, because the next film that's supposed to come out is Suicide Squad, which I'm probably looking forward to a little bit more, because as the Joker, my favorite comic book person of all time. And then it goes Wonder Woman, a Wonder Woman standalone film, and the Wonder Woman film is going to go back to World War I, so it's not going to be like a sequel to this. And then you're going to have a Justice League film. So basically, what I have to say is I would honestly move the Justice League film to later. I'd put the Batman film right there instead, because I just don't think it's right yet. They haven't really set up the Justice League. They talk about the Justice League and they kind of set it up, but it's not like good, and it's kind of like there's not really enough introduction. I mean, like when the Justice League comes, you're only going to know a few characters, and that was what was different about the Avengers is when we had the Avengers come out, we already knew who Iron Man was, Captain America and Thor and Hulk, and Black Widow and Hawkeye were kind of secondary characters, but the main four, you knew who they were and you knew their story. When it comes to this, it's kind of like we just got just a little bit of it, and I feel like that we should DC should go into their stories more, and also kind of maybe do another Batman film before that. That's all I have to say. I think honestly it was a huge disappointment. I'm definitely worried about the upcoming DC films. Most people thought I liked it due to my like Snapchats and stuff like that. I thought it was okay walking out. I was more shocked because of the ending, and if you see it, then you'll understand what the ending is. Nothing to worry about though. I'll probably post a spoiler review later on, but so overall, 6 out of 10, definitely a huge disappointment. But I am definitely excited about this Batman, and that's why I want to see, instead of a Justice League film, I want to see a Batman film because I love Ben Affleck as Batman. So make sure to like this video, and if you have any comments or share your opinion of it in the comments, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you.